World-famous theme parks are increasingly used as destinations for the whole family, with boundless variety. Everything is moving here, and the choice of attractions is difficult for everyone. Never-ending entertainment. A special entertainment park is located in the German town of Rust. Europa-Park, a superlative among German amusement parks, the most visited, biggest and most popular. Millions of visitors come here every year. A successful mixture of over 100 attractions for the whole family. And every year, new ones are added. In 1780, Paul Mack began to produce carriages. And his descendants already built wooden roller coasters from 1920 onwards. A trip to the USA in 1972 changed everything. Franz Mack and his son Roland decided to present their self-built constructions and ideas in their own theme park. The largest amusement park in the German-speaking world was born. The 16-hectare area developed into 96. Unique worlds were created, like Africa, where wooden rafts on a lake carry adventure-seeking visitors around artificial animals of the wild. Many routes crisscross the different attractions and worlds. There seems to be something for every taste. Such as the Windjammer swing and the tubes spinning in the torrential canal. But also miniature boats and elevated trains for the little ones. And above their heads, roller coasters are constantly racing at breathtaking speed, accompanied by the loud howls of the passengers. Whether a fairy tale world or a variety of vehicles for children to drive, the park provides entertainment for young and old. Brave pilots board planes, and buccaneers sail around a captured ship. A small train goes to England, where Paddington Bear is waiting at the station. And next door, a red double-decker bus even turns vertically in circles. Here, everything moves with variety and speed, and it seems every corner offers a different adventure for the visitors. In the high season, about 3,000 employees make sure that everything works. Theme worlds, 14 roller coasters, and more than 100 different attractions allow the day to simply fly by. And for the farewell, there is music and dance. In Ungersheim, in the French Alsace, we visit the Little Prince. The Parc du Petit Prince carries you off into the magical world of the poetic theme park. This park is based on the fairy tale story by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. The famous story in which the narrator had to make an emergency landing with his plane in the Sahara, where he met the Little Prince. Every attraction has a link to this story, with the figures, drawings and models. The adventures were brought to life here for children and adults as games and adventures, and where they can let off steam. Always with some reference to the fairy tale characters in the novel. This fantastic world must be conquered. There are movie shows for the astonished visitors. And in the volcano tent, there are many entertaining choices for all age groups. Even the ride on the Lilliput train becomes a little adventure here, as sheep and goats hurry over to be fed. The animals are so skillful that they hang on with their front legs and only walk on their hind legs next to the wagons to be fed. Wooden towers can be climbed and rope bridges can be crossed. And rides on the carousel or the roller coaster of the giant snake leave little time for a break. The adventurous fantasies know no limits. In St. Margarethen, near the Austrian town of Rust, Austria's largest entertainment park was built over decades. From 1968 onwards, the family business was still called Märchenwald, and it all began with fairy tale scenes, with figures and driving equipment for children. And today, there are still a few nostalgic memories of the early days of the company. Since 2010, the amusement park has become a family park, with the aim of providing entertainment and fun for the whole family. Despite many innovations, they nonetheless remained true to the fairy tale and its nostalgic scenes. Of course, more modern themes needed to be added, such as a ghost castle, or modern characters from film and television. And the farm theme area has been expanded with many fun rides and attractive figures. So there's also a crazy scarecrow, or the track with the little pigs galloping with their riders through the bushes. Circling over the farm, sitting in an apple. And even children can steer tractors that run on rails. And finally, the rat's mill, a family roller coaster in the treetops. So you could be tossed around in a hurricane on nearby Lake Neusiedl. On Tante Mitzi's farm, the friendly animals can be stroked. And riding a rooster, you'll be fleeing from a freaked-out grandma on a motorcycle. The site, which today is already 145,000 square meters in size, is now home to theme worlds that offer complete family entertainment. The god's lightning whooshes into exciting heights and immediately thunders through loops. The Roman Tower has movable seat carriages. The swinging ship Sea Dragon feels like it's in stormy seas. And the flying fishes revolve around a giant octopus. And in Leonardo da Vinci's flying machine, everyone feels free as a bird, circling through the air. The Universal Studios in Los Angeles are the largest and most active film and television studio in the world, as well as a popular family day out. It's one of the most successful amusement parks in the USA. Whilst visiting the various attractions, famous film and TV characters suddenly appear from nowhere. The founder of Universal Studios, Carl Laemmle, moved his studio to the Hollywood Hills in 1915, where since 8,000 films have been produced. Throughout the studio tour, many famous film sets are instantly recognizable. Even in the silent film era, paying visitors were allowed to watch the day's film shoot. High-tech special effects are put to good use to make disaster scenes frighteningly realistic. If you're lucky, you can escape from Jaws and experience a stunt show in Waterworld, in which the baddies chase the goodie in a wild display of frenetic water scooters. A high point is the journey through Jurassic Park, which can prove to be a little wet. This glimpse into the film world is both fascinating and exciting. It's a place where satisfaction is guaranteed. Since its opening in 1955 at the gates of Los Angeles, Disneyland has become a worldwide phenomenon. Walt Disney's famous characters greet their guests. The world's original and longest surviving theme park provides an enchanting mix of shows, well-known cartoon characters, and attractions. The journey through Toontown on its bumpy tramway is a stimulating experience for all ages, a real flight of fancy. Each day, 60,000 visitors enjoy this fabulous world of make-believe, including Cinderella's famous fairy tale castle. Here you can be carried into the tops of tall trees or take a ride on a Mississippi paddle steamer. A visit to this amazing fantasy world is a truly unforgettable experience for everyone. But Italy also has its sensational entertainment park. Close to the northern Italian lake Garda lies Gardaland, an amusement hotspot with almost 3 million visitors annually. The entertainment begins in a magical children's world, but the visitor is soon overwhelmed by extraordinary rides. As usual in Italy, the youngest visitors must be satisfied first. And for this, there are more than enough choices. There's a dinosaur world that houses gastronomical delights. And right next door, the Arabic Aladdin market, where food and souvenirs that match the theme are on offer. This leads on to the Egyptian world of Ramesses, with huge copies of the pharaoh statues. Not to be missed, of course, are the pirates, who also dance, swallow fire, and perform acrobatics, according to Italian tradition. Everything with a lot of spiritedness. In the cars of this elevated railway, the daredevils are really driven upside down several times. But on other tracks, it proceeds as usual, fast, in loops, and always loud. The Chinese world is still here, with corresponding attractions, like rides, pavilions, and pandas in every form, also as souvenirs. The water ride inside tree trunks promises to be a rather wet experience. And in vertical descent, the Oblivion roller coaster races into the black hole. The Flying Island is elevated upwards on a long arm and offers a great view. And the roller coaster Blue Tornado hisses like a whirlwind between the combat aircrafts on exhibit. The water journey in inner tubes through the rapids of the jungle is a special adventure. And at the gates of this world, you can relax by watching performances of acrobatics and exotic dance. There is no end to the world of fantasy. Atlantis, the water kingdom of Neptune, entrances with its believable layout, along with an adventurous ride on a water slide. In the nostalgic village of the Gold Diggers, we end the diversified tour through Gardaland. Here too, the dance entertainment of the old Wild West is presented in an Italian way. supplemented by a few circus acrobatics. Making sure the visit remains unforgettable. SeaWorld in Orlando is a world-famous marine park. It features amazing shows and incredible animal stunts that are simply breathtaking. Again and again, canny seals help to ward off pirates. And sometimes even visitors get wet. And here, Anheuser-Busch Brewery has invested a lot of money in the highly profitable entertainment business. The massive and endangered manatees have been provided with a quiet habitat in clean water, which certainly serves the preservation of the species. Dolphins accompany visitors at almost every opportunity. They are the omnipresent mascots of the park. The famous shows of the motorboat drivers, water ski artists and scooter stuntmen attract crowds of visitors several times a day to their spacious water theatre. The park's main attraction is to be found in the Shamu Stadium. Here, orca whales and their offspring perform a variety of fascinating tricks. A gigantic experience which is well worth a visit. Phantasialand near Brühl is one of the most visited theme parks in Germany. Originally founded in 1967 as a fairy tale park, it has become a complete entertainment park. With 6 theme areas lovingly designed down to the last detail, and versatile entertainment for the whole family. The attractions are a mixture of fast and exciting rides and playgrounds, especially for children. As early as 1967, the showman Gottlieb Löffelhardt and the puppeteer Richard Schmidt opened a fairy tale forest in a former brownfield coal mine. In the first year alone, 400,000 visitors were counted. The grounds and attractions have been expanded, and there's also a greater orientation towards an adult audience. Whether it is the theme world of Africa with lakes and wild animals, or Chinatown with traditional buildings and perfect Chinese sports shows. The African clay buildings seem more than real. Even though the trains roar crisscross over the heads of the visitors. And a dance group encourages the public to participate in their rendition of authentic dances. A giant swing in a fire-breathing rock landscape turns on its own axis. Right next door is the whitewater ride. And the frantic ride through the Mystery Castle seems never-ending. Everything counts in superlatives. The fastest roller coaster, the fastest water ride. But suddenly, a rather wild, small train appears again, crisscrossing into view. There are encounters with dragons, or even figures from the German Biedermeier period. It's hard to say goodbye. And the variety of theme parks will leave enduring memories.